Alrighty, welcome to your morning mobility routine. We're just going to go through full body CARs real quick. So we're going to start on the neck. So CARs are all about moving through your full range of motion at a very controlled pace. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our chin to our chest, and now we're going to drag our chin across our chest to our shoulder. You should feel a stretch right here. And now we're going to tip our head back, getting a nice stretch on the chin, rolling over. Same thing, dragging your chin right across. We're going to do 2 more reps this direction, then 3 the other way. So CARs are all about feeling a stretch on the opening side and trying not to get a pinch on the closing side. So there's 2 sides to a joint. There's a closing side and an opening side. So let's go ahead and go over what that is really quick. So I'll use my wrist for an example. When I'm going into this plane of motion, this is the pinching side and this is the opening side. Same thing here. Closing side, opening side. Those rules apply to all the joints. Okay, we just did our neck. Now let's go ahead and do our shoulders. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the other side of the neck. So now we're going to bring our chin down, drag right across, coming up here. You get the drill by now. If you feel any pinching or pain anywhere, do not move into that range of motion. Alrighty, let's go to our shoulders. So our shoulders, elbow is going to be out, wrist is going to be out as well, palm open, and we're going to go right across the chest. Coming up to the ear, trying to keep this elbow pit facing that wall behind you. Once you get to the top, you're going to rotate out. Think about your palms spinning out. And as you're going down, you can rotate a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, finishing right here, and now going right back. Once we get back to the bottom, that will be 1 rep. We will do 3 reps on each side. So as this is a morning routine, this doesn't need to be maximal intensity. This is just getting things moving for the day. Feel any popping or cracking, that is okay as long as it is pain-free. And other side. It's really important to move nice and slow and controlled all the way throughout all of these movements. One thing I see a lot is people are doing these, and as they're coming up to the top, they're leaning back, trying to get more than their shoulder actually has. You're just being dishonest with yourself, and you're just hurting yourself in the long run. Cool. Let's go ahead and go over elbows. So elbows, we have 2 planes of motion. We have supination and we have pronation. In other words, palm facing up, palm facing down. So we're going to do both. So for the elbows, what counts as 1 rep is 1 rep in supination, 1 rep in pronation. That is 1 rep. Do 2 more. There we go. Now let's do it on the other side. Remember switching at the top. 2. And 3. Nice. Cool. So for the wrists, we're going to do palm facing up. We're going to grab our other arm. And now we're going to go all the way into extension as far as we can. This is typically a pretty pinchy one, so move really slow through here. So as we're rolling over, trying to get a stretch on the opening side, but not squeezing into any pinching. Coming into flexion, as we're rolling over, give you a side view of this. Again, all these should be really slow and controlled, trying to mitigate any pinching, but this is step 1 towards building a pain-free body that you totally control through mobility. I think that was 3. Let's go with 3. Going the other way now. And other wrist. Now, if you keep your fingers out, you're going to notice you have less range of motion than usual. That is totally okay because we're trying to expand that range of motion right now. You can do these with your hand open, you can do it with the fists, go the other way, 3 each way. Just pick one variation, hand open or hand closed, and do it like that for that day. So for hip cars, I'm gonna give you a side view. So when we're starting here, we need to go into external rotation. So that is when our foot is coming across our body this way, and now we're going to go up into flexion. Now we're going to go out into abduction, rolling over into internal rotation as we're still kicking that leg out, and back all the way, and right back around. That is 1 rep. We're gonna do 2 more here. Trying to keep our pelvis nice and still. If you don't know if your pelvis is moving, think about if you had a belt on, trying to keep the front of that belt and the back of that belt in one spot. There's 2, 1 more for this side. And switch. You don't have to have something to hold on to, but I just find it significantly easier. Two. And 3. Alrighty, so for knee cars, you can actually do these laying down. So I'm gonna be laying down right here and go for the right leg. So what we're focusing on here is rotation as well as extension and flexion. So first we're going to do is we're going to start in flexion, we're gonna rotate in. So think about your knee rotating in this way. That's internal rotation, going to extend all the way and going to go back down in internal rotation. Once you go all the way back into flexion, you're going to rotate out into external rotation. And that is 1 rep. So we're going to do 3 of these. Nice and slow. If you start to shake at the top, that's okay. Just your hamstring trying to pull you back down. One more. And switch. Again, external rotation, switching at the bottom. There's 1. 2. And 3. Finishing out with ankle cars. Ankle cars you can do seated, as I'm going to do today. So we're going to point the toes out. We're going to roll in towards our other foot, coming up, all the way down, making a nice big circle. So we're going to go 3, making a nice big circle. So we're going to do 3 on each side, going each direction. There's 3, going the other way now. Really slow and controlled. And 3. Other side. Other way. And there is your morning mobility routine. Now, this is something that if you do every day, you're going to start to see big changes in your body about a week later. But keep in mind, this is a low intensity variation of mobility, and this is kind of scratching the surface of mobility. So this definitely will help. There's definitely more to mobility than just cars, but this is a great starting point. Hope you enjoyed.